Hi, Doug O'Brien here. I want to talk to you about essential coaching skills. These are skills every coach should possess. And I say this because, frankly, I learned the hard way. When I started off my coaching, it was not very pretty. There were times when, the coaches, the coachees, the people that I was working with would, kind of nod politely and then they'd go back to their old habits. I just realized that, if you have trust but you don't get the results, people are just going to be disappointed. And then I discovered something. I discovered that if people are really going to transform, that it isn't just about techniques. It's about knowing what technique to use when and with whom and how specifically. So I started working at it. I started going to lots of different trainings. I studied NLP with Tony Robbins, with Robert Dilts, with Richard Bandler. I invested way more money than I possessed. I studied with anybody that was teaching NLP, Tad James, Wyatt Woodsmall, anybody who was teaching NLP back in those days. So I did all this, and then I studied Ericksonian hypnosis. It was really hard to get into that, but I studied again with everybody that would have me in there. And I discovered that with that, and also a subset of NLP that I discovered along the way, my master practitioner with Robert Dilts, a thing called sleightofmouth, that all these things begin to actually synergize and work together. I could really help them change with a combination of these different skills. So before we dive into these skills a little bit, let me do a little pop quiz for you. So entertain these questions for a minute. Let them be real questions. Think about them honestly. As a coach, have you ever had a client where you gave them your best advice, your very best advice, and watched them nod politely, like I described before, just sort of like, only to go right back into their old habits the moment they left? Think about that. Does it ever happen? Because it happens. I was wondering if it's ever happened to you. Question number 2. Have you ever had a client push back with, well, that won't work for me. Yeah, but, a lot of yes buts. That won't work for me. And in that moment, you felt stuck, like you hit a wall, like that was your best stuff. You don't know where to go from there. Does that ever happen to you? Question number 3. Have you ever had a client who knew exactly what they should do, but still wouldn't do it? Knowledge wasn't the problem. Alignment was. And you wished you had tools to unlock what was blocking them. People who should quit smoking know they should quit smoking. Just don't quit smoking. Or any number of examples like that. Question number 4. And here's a big one. Have you ever left a session wondering if you actually created change or just filled the time? But you want to really help, not just have polite conversations. So if you found yourself saying yes to even one of these questions, well, you're in the right place, because it's exactly why I created Essential Coaching Skills. This training is about moving past those frustrations. So instead of hitting the walls, you know exactly how to create breakthroughs. Instead of leaving sessions with doubt, you leave knowing your client has shifted deeply, permanently. And now I'm going to show you the exact skills that make this possible. Sleight of mouth, the language patterns that melt resistance. Every coach hits resistance. That won't work for me. Yeah, but, right? Every coach has had the situation where you feel like you've hit a brick wall. But sleight of mouth flips resistance into momentum. It's kind of like verbal aikido, where you redirect beliefs instead of fighting them. Sleight of mouth is one of the most impactful skills I think any coach can have, because it's conversational. Well, they don't realize that you're doing some sort of technique. You're listening to hearing what their beliefs actually are. You understand what the structure of a belief is, and you can conversationally shift that. Wouldn't you love to be able to walk into every session knowing you can handle any objection with calm confidence? How good would it feel to stop guessing what to say and start winning over resistance every time? Second essential coaching skill is NLP coaching skills. The core tools of transformation from NLP, I think, are these 3. Meta model, anchoring, and parts integration. There are hundreds of NLP skills. I've, over the years, taught them. But as far as what you really need to use functionally as a coach, we've narrowed it down. We take 4 months in our cohort to really get them. There's more than just these 3, but these I think are really amazingly core. The meta model is a way of asking questions. It's precise questioning to really get to the core of their belief, the core of their understanding of how the world works. You ask good questions with the meta model. Anchoring, you help them get instant access to resourceful states so they can, at the snap of a finger, be at their best self. Parts integration is where they're, getting all of their parts in alignment. So instead of one part fighting against the part, like I want to succeed, but I'm really kind of afraid, you get all the parts in alignment. That's amazing thing to do with a coach client of yours. Really gets all their parts in alignment so they stop fighting themselves and they can take off from there. And the third essential coaching skills is Ericksonian hypnosis, or what I usually call neo-Ericksonian hypnosis. It's conversational trance. It's using language to align with a person's already pre-existing trance state and help them to create a different story, right? To create a different way of thinking about things to help them move to where they want to go. It's using therapeutic metaphors, and again, identity level shifts. Wouldn't it be incredible to finally have proven tools like the NLP stuff that works with any client challenge? I mean, because therapists spend decades learning piecemeal what you'll master here in weeks, in months. It's a 4-month course. There is one other thing, I've alluded to it a little bit before, but there is a fourth skill. It ties together with the other skills so beautifully. It's storytelling. That book cover right there that you see is my latest book, User's Guide to Storytelling. We teach the important parts from this in a 6-week intensive. It's a storytelling intensive, and some people say it's their favorite course of everything that I do, which is wonderful. It hurts a little to know that of all these other skills, all these other courses that I spend so much time working on and putting together, that they love this one. But there's a lot to love in storytelling because you're telling stories of your own. This is your story. You're getting down to like, what is your story and how do you tell it in a way that people want to hear it? And when they do hear it, they go like, ah, that's beautiful. Thank you for telling me that story. People think in stories. They don't think in logic. They don't. Great coaches influenced by guiding clients into new narratives. I would like to talk to you about how you can experience all this. Frankly, we can do it right now because a lot of times people have the same objections to things. And so maybe you are thinking, I would love to learn these skills, but maybe you're one of everybody has a part of the brain that goes, yeah, but. So let's think about this for you for a second. What if you had this common barrier, that said, I don't have the time, or it's too expensive, or other trainings are cheaper? So what if you had one of those experiences and I was to say, with sleight of mouth, like, let's play with that. So like, take I don't have time with sleight of mouth. I could say, well, showing up once or twice a week is still infinitely better than not showing up at all, isn't it? That's a little sleight of mouth pattern called the hierarchy of criteria. Isn't this more important than that? I could say, and then there's the bigger question, what's the cost of not showing up? How many more months or even years will you keep circling the same patterns with your clients, wondering what's missing in your toolbox? Or if you take this too expensive one, well, compared to what? A vacation that disappears in 2 weeks? An investment that pays you back over time as you sit down with a client? So what's happening right now is I'm not arguing, I'm reframing. I'm looking at things in a very different way. That's what you learn in sleight of mouth. Let's take a look at NLP reframing. Let me ask you a question. Which coach are you? Which coach will you be in 6 months? Which do you want to be in 6 months? If you had a magic wand, what would your sessions look like? Imagine your sessions with clients right now. Imagine it vividly. And imagine what you want to have be true, that your client is leaning in, engaged, transformed. What are you seeing? What are you hearing them say? What are you feeling in your body in a session like that? Now compare that to where you are today. Which path feels more alive to you? It's kind of like this. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. You're standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar. You've walked it for years. It's safe. It's comfortable. But nothing new grows there. The other path, it has a gate. A sign above it says, don't open unless you're ready to become the coach you've always dreamed of being. And yet, you know you're stronger than you think. You know you're ready to grow. So which path will you take? Which path will you take? So one answer to this question that a student of mine had a few years ago was my friend Lucy, who stood at that same kind of crossroads a few years ago. Lucy Brissot, who is here today. I want to introduce you to her and find out how she approached the same question of which path is she going to take.
Hello, Doug. Thank you for bringing me in. And yeah, I was on that crossroads, not knowing exactly which path to take. And honestly, I didn't walk out boldly on that second path.
Hmm.
At the beginning, I was frozen. I thought, what if I waste my time? Because it's intense. What if I waste my money? Because for me it was expensive. What if it's just another training with just a collect of new skills, but that doesn't change anything for me? Honestly, I thought that I was not good enough and that it would always be the case. But I said yes, and I'm here, and I choose to walk that second path, and that yes really has changed everything for me.
Cool. Well, I'm so glad that you did, but I think you're maybe being a little hard on yourself there, Lucy. You weren't a bad coach. You were never a bad coach. You just needed to stop circling on the old path and actually start, walking the new one.
Yeah, but you reminded me often that I was a very bad coach. No, just kidding. But you told me that several times.
I was kidding.
Oh, yeah, you were kidding, as always. No, you can be serious sometimes too. Sometimes. Anyway,
I
yeah,
know.
you're right. You're right. I really had the feeling when I joined that cohort that I was entering a Michelin star restaurant kitchen, but as an intern.
An intern, yeah.
Yeah, an intern that has read a lot of books,
Hmm.
that know a lot of ingredients,
Right.
but has never actually cooked any real recipe.
Or at least in a Michelin star restaurant kitchen.
Yeah, that's true. Just random jam sandwich with peanut butter and bananas. That's not a Michelin star restaurant, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
Anyway, and you were, for me, the head chef of
Hmm.
that kitchen. And you taught me how to bring all the ingredients together to create awesome recipes. And you were not the only one who helped me to learn how to cook good recipe, because the students
Hmm.
in the cohort were my kitchen team,
Huh.
and they were here to offer support, feedback, guidance. They're all very good coaches already,
Yeah.
and just here to enhance what they already know. And it was great because they were here to help me also sometimes to not burn the soup.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. And that's really true. It does. There's a wonderful community, isn't there, of these people that are on the same path as you. Learning to become more effective coaches and learning these essential skills. What shifted the most for you, do you think?
Mm, I took all the free courses.
Hmm.
So NLP, hypnosis, sleight of mouth. And as I said, it was intense. Yes. But week after week, I really saw the value to take all three, because combined together, something clicked for me. And I didn't just become more skilled, I become more confident. I didn't just break patterns for my clients or for the students I was working with, but I broke my own. I also started to lead. because as you know, now I'm not only coaching, I'm also leading practice sessions with the students
Right.
and the WhatsApp community, and I'm really happy to support students to put all the skills together in real time. And that transformation would have never happened without me taking that second path at the very
Right.
beginning.
Right. No, and that's, again, thank you for pointing that out, because yes, you have shifted into that role so beautifully, so competently, of being that leader that you are. So thank you, Lucy. That was very, very powerful. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Deb.
So just one more time, it's important to remember that everyone starts off at a place where they're not very good at something. Every race car driver started off not knowing how to shift gears. Everybody starts off not very good at what they do. I certainly was bad at what I did early on. And it was so frustrating because I wanted to be good. I wanted to help people. I sincerely did. I wanted to help people and I wanted to have a good business doing it. So we have this beginning point where we're frustrated, we have filled with self-doubt. For me, I went through years of study with all those different people, Bandler, Grinder, Tony Robbins, Richard Ben, I said that, Robert Dilts, Dave Dobson, all the Ericksonians that I could get my hands on, Stephen Gilligan, Bill O'Hanlon, just intense years of study and practice, working with clients every day, every week for years. And now I really feel like this is something that I can offer you, which are essential coaching skills. What are the essentials? You can always learn more, you can always get better, but what are the essential building blocks that can help you be that intern in the Michelin chef, restaurant, and create your own recipes because you know the building blocks, you know how to do this. Coaching isn't just about skills, it's about moments your clients will never forget. That's why in addition to NLP, in addition to Ericksonian hypnosis, in addition to sleight of mouth, we're also offering that extra bonus class, which is the storytelling class. So let's put this into perspective. NLP trainings alone will cost you from anywhere from $2,000, $3,000 to $5,000. Of course, for the good ones, you can get ones for $7, but let's not talk about those. But for the ones where you really are getting value for your money, it costs you some money. Same thing is true with Ericksonian hypnosis. If you can find a training that will let you in an Ericksonian hypnosis, and storytelling intensive often costs between $2,000 to $3,000. I mean, because public speaking is a huge thing. Corporations will pay a lot of money for people to take those courses, and you could spend that much if you wanted to. But it's not what it's about. This isn't about charging the maximum. It's about making these skills accessible so coaches can create real change. I want you to be able to actually do this, actually afford this. So you're not going to be paying that much. You're going to be paying a paltry amount by comparison. $317 a month is what it amounts to if you pay a monthly thing, or you can save even more money by paying for a full year of the membership. Membership allows you to take all the classes. And if you buy this membership by that price there, the discounted price, you save $317 over a year's price. You get some exclusive bonuses. So as a Essential Coaching Skills member, you're not just getting the training, you're actually getting weekly practice sessions. Every week there's a question and answer session. We do a question and answer session. It's just, I call it office hours, but it's a free form thing. We just spend an hour. You come to it, it's like coming to my office and hanging out. Also once a week, there's a demo day. The demo day is where once a week, we all get together and someone from the class volunteers. It could be you, where I do a session with you on whatever it is that's up for you that particular week, or for whoever is volunteering. And I will do hypnosis, I will do NLP, I will do sleight of mouth, I will do havening. I mean, who knows what I'm going to do? I'm going to do just a bona fide real life session. Probably, I usually lean towards trying to demonstrate something we've been working on, but it doesn't have to be. But it is a great way to see how you really blend these skills together. You also get access to a lifetime library. You get lifetime membership to a library, intensive library, a massive library of everything I've ever recorded before. You get also weekly practice sessions with my assistant, Lucy Brousseau, who you met before. I will also be presenting a unique training on voice, tonality, and rhythm. How you present the stories that you tell, the words you say are very, very, very important, but how you say them are very important as well. If you sign up for the full year, you'll also get a session with me, a free session with me, one-on-one. And frankly, all of this is true, and sometimes you just are not willing to make that risk. So I just want to tell you there is no risk. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, which means you can take a month of classes, 3 days a week, Sleight of Mouth on Tuesday, NLP on Wednesday, hypnosis on Thursday. You can come to the practice groups, you can come to the office hour, you can come to the demo day, you can dive into the library, see what's all that's there. It's a massive thing. You can do it all for a month and you say, no, I don't want to do it. It's not for me. You get your money back. But just know, this isn't an evergreen thing. This is a live training. It starts on the 16th of September. Limited access because I don't want to have too many people that I can't have a personal relationship with folks. And once it starts, we close the doors. We don't open them again until the next time we do this, which is 4 months from now at least. But nevertheless, get in now. It's really, really worth it. And recognize that you are at that crossroads right now, aren't you? Do you want to stay on that old path, keep circling and circling and circling, or do you want to take on this new path and go towards mastery? Do it. Secure your spot today. We start September 16th. Be there. When you master these skills, everything changes.